Great, so welcome to our class. And today our theme is, and I think some of you were at some of the classes earlier. But the theme today is about welcoming everything that comes up for us. So it is obviously a challenging time right now. And everyone I talk to is going through quite the range of emotions, the rainbow of emotions. And I know many people are feeling kind of challenged by having such strong emotions, right? If you're used to just going through life and everything is kind of smooth, when something hits hard, it can really feel challenging to have such difficult emotions at this time. So whatever comes up for you today, I urge you to welcome it, to open the doors and invite it in. And if it feels overwhelming, if you have too much going on, and that's totally understandable, I invite you to take a break. Go for a little walk around your house or do whatever you need to do to feel more settled if it brings up more for you than you're ready to handle. Or you can always leave the class and come back when it's recorded and do it whenever you want. So just to let you know that overwhelm is really common right now, and if that's what's going on for you and you just need to take a break, do that, all right? And the other thing I want to say is you're not alone. We are all in this together. We're all connected. Maybe not physically right now, obviously not physically right now, but we are all connected together by the internet in this case, but by our hearts, right? And by spirit. There is a connection. All human beings are, are one when we boil it right down. I may not feel that way right now. We may feel really disconnected, really lonely, really isolated. So know that you're not alone. And, there's many people just a phone call away or a text or an email away. If you need someone, please reach out. And if you have resources, if you feel good, if you feel strong, if you feel this is no big deal for you, then reach out to other people. Give them, some support as you realize that maybe they do need it as well. So that's what our theme is. The class itself, we're going to focus on shoulders, neck, head, face, arms, hands, so this whole upper body area where we often hold tension. Right? I'm a jaw clencher and I often find my shoulders up here. So it is very common for us to hold tension in those areas. So we're going to try to just bring some ease into our upper bodies. Okay, so I'll see you on the mat, and again, we're going to start sitting. So let's start with a little just checking in, breath awareness. So you can keep your eyes open or closed, it doesn't matter. Find a comfortable seat where you feel upright, you're not slumped back into your couch or anything like that. So you feel that there's lots of space around your diaphragm, which is just up in this upper or lower rib cage area. So as you breathe, imagine that you could expand the rib cage, front, back, and sides, just gently expanding and letting the breath go. And the rib cage will naturally contract and draw in towards the center. So inhaling, the ribs will naturally lift and expand. Exhaling, the ribs will naturally move in and down. So a few more breaths with that awareness of really creating some space. And then allow the breath to come to normal. So just breathing in and out without any kind of restriction or particular visualization, just letting the breath be. And then checking in with how your body feels right now. So you might notice where your body's making contact with your seat or with the floor. And simply notice those sensations. You might feel the movement of your breath in your body and notice those sensations. And then checking in with the state of your mind today. So for many people, the mind's very full. If that's true for you, notice that, welcome it. Try not to bring any judgment. Perhaps your mind is being drawn to one thought or to many thoughts, or perhaps you're quite focused and just here with me. So notice your mind. And then I invite you to tune into any emotions that may be present. Emotions are a little trickier to locate. Sometimes they show up as thoughts, sometimes as sensations in the body, like when we feel like we have a broken heart or butterflies in the stomach. And if nothing arises for you, no judgment, simply notice that. I don't feel much right now. And sometimes instead of overwhelm, we just go a little numb. Maybe you feel joy or happiness right now. Welcome whatever is true for you without judgment. And then again, I invite you to take a few deeper breaths. Again, without straining or forcing the breath in any way. And especially make sure you're exhaling fully. So when we get stressed, we tend to breathe really shallowly in the upper chest, sort of that holding the belly and breathing tight up here. So see if you can exhale. And you might try a little breathing technique that sometimes helps me to feel a little bit more calm when I'm anxious, and that's to purse the lips and blow the breath slowly out through your lips as you exhale. So you inhale normally and exhale, just blowing out as if you're steadily blowing out a candle. It doesn't have to be a deep breath, just whatever feels comfortable. And then again, if you've been trying that technique, you can just let your breath come back to normal. So I'm going to start with the face and head. So you can start by taking your hands together and rubbing them together so you create some friction. And then when your hands feel nice and warm, you can let them come over your eyes. So the heels of your hands, and my microphone's a little in the way, but the heels of your hands are on the cheekbones, the bases of your fingers on the ridge of your eyebrows, and your eyes just gently resting in the darkness beneath your palms. Right, and then we'll take the fingers and we'll just give a little massage around the forehead. So you can take your fingertips and just do little circles around the forehead, as if you could erase those lines of worry that we carry. Coming down to the temples, gentle pressure, little circles on the temples. You can work in your cheekbones, and if you find an area of your face that you want to work a little more in, you can stay there or follow me to the bridge of the nose, back out along the cheekbones. You can even come a little under the cheekbones here. And then finding the edge of your jaw just in front of your ears and working your way along your jawline towards your chin. And then working back out towards the jaw, towards the ears. You can take your hands and reach them behind your neck. So you're bringing your fingertips on either side of your spine, not to the bones of your spine. And just little circles, as much pressure as feels good for you, running down the neck. You can bring your hands and fingertips coming into the tops of the shoulders here. I can feel quite a bit of tension in my own shoulders today. You might have the same, or maybe somewhere else for you. Right. And then just give your hands a shake, like you could shake all that tension off. And you can take the hand to one shoulder and just swipe right down and throw it off. And then to the other shoulder, swipe right down and throw it off. And then we'll lift the shoulders up toward the ears and roll them back and down. Great. And then let the shoulders relax, and we'll draw the chin down toward the front of the chest and feel a little stretch in the back of the neck maybe. And then you can start to sweep the chin towards one shoulder, coming up to the side, and then sweep all the way across to the other shoulder, come up to the other side. Go side to side like that a few times. If you like, you can make a full circle with your head. You want to be careful not to let your head fall back behind your shoulders, so you have control of your head the whole time. And after you've gone a couple of times one way, you can reverse and go the other way. Right, and let's come back to the center. We'll take the hands, interlace the fingers, and press the palms away, stretching the fingers a little bit. And then we'll turn the hands back around and bring them up behind your head. If that's not comfortable for your shoulders, you can bring your hands onto your shoulders instead. So from here, you're going to let the head reach back a little, chest lift, and let the elbows come wide. So big breath in here. And then as you exhale, bring the elbows in towards each other. You're going to round the back, bring the head down, but don't yank on your head or pull. Just that little bit of extra weight. And then press into your hands, open the elbows, lift the head. You can coordinate this with your breath if you like. So you'd exhale as you come forward, rounding the back. Inhale as you take the arms wide and lift the chest. Exhale, forward. Inhale. Or you can just breathe and move freely if that's more comfortable for you. Great, and then coming up, keeping the hands here, or again, if it's not comfortable, if your shoulders get tired, bring the hands down to your shoulders, fine. We're going to tip to one side, taking the elbow down, lift up, tip to the other side. Good. As one elbow goes down, think about the other elbow moving slightly back, if that's okay with your shoulder. You don't have to go very far. Right, and then come back to the center, and we'll release the hands and bring the arms down to the legs or into the lap or wherever you're comfortable. And we'll take the head and tilt it to one side now. And if you want a little bit more stretch, so on that side of the neck, you can take the hand to the ground. If you're on the floor, walk the fingertips away. If you're on a chair, you might just let that arm dangle down and create a little extra weight. And for those who still want a little bit more stretch, be very gentle here. You could take the opposite hand, and you're not pulling your head. Again, you're just adding a little bit of weight. And then we'll come up to the center, release. Lift up nice and tall, and then let the other ear release towards the shoulder. And again, you can either let the arm dangle, the opposite arm, or walk it away from you to create a little more openness across the top of the shoulder. And again, if you still want a little more, just a very gentle little placement of the hand, just a little weight, not pulling. Good. And then you'll release and come back to center. And we'll bring both hands to the knees, lift the chest with a breath in, and round the back as you exhale. So that cat-cow movement, inhale, and exhale, rounding. Okay, continuing at your own pace for a few more breaths. Great, and then after you finish an exhale, just come back to a comfortable, neutral spine. If your legs fall asleep, just stretch them out anytime, shake them out, whatever you need to do. So let's take the hand one palm up, and one finger at a time, we'll gently draw the fingers back. Just a couple of seconds each finger. When you get to your thumb, you want to be really gentle with your thumb. You don't want to overstretch the thumb, so you can just a little bit with the thumb and then the other hand. Right, and then do a few circles. Good, one way, then the other. Good. And then we're going to take the arms to the sides, fingertips pointing up. And if your shoulders feel like they come up when you do that, bring your arms down a little bit. So arms to the sides, so that we can make some little circles with the arms. Again, if you feel your shoulders strain or your arms strain, you can flatten the hands out or bring the arms down a little bit. Try a few circles the other way. All right, and then reach the arms wide, fingers spread out, and we're going to turn the palms up and turn the palms down, and keep turning them down all the way around so your shoulders start to come forward. Good, and then lift as the hands lift, the shoulders open, and then a little bit of rounding forward. So that's internal rotation, external rotation. Good. And then just give the arms a good shake. Let them go and bring them down to rest on your legs, and notice any sensations that are now present in your arms. So I can feel a little tingling in my arms. You might feel similar or different. Notice what's true for you, and whatever you notice, welcome it in. Open the door, welcome it in. Great, nice big breath here. Exhale, let your shoulders drop down a little bit more. Good. One more breath. And then let's bring the palms together. So I think many of you know this, it's a wrist exercise, but it's also a gesture of giving and receiving. And right now, there's a lot of need in the world, and we could reach out to others. We could also ask for support ourselves if we need it. And this gesture is that idea of offering support, asking for support, and finding what we need from ourselves and our community. So palms together, put a little pressure. Reach the heels of your hands down a bit, feel your arms engage. You might feel a little stretch in your wrists. And then we're going to release that pressure. Turn the palms toward the ground. Bring the backs of your hands together. Roll the fingers in. And then it's like we're offering, what do we have? What can we offer? What can we give? Is it support? Is it love? Is it a friendly voice on the phone? Is it a roll of toilet paper? What do you need? What can I give you? And then what do I need? Can I reach out and ask for that? And as I imagine that, I bring the hands back in, fingers down, around, and back to the heart as if I've received what I need from that exchange. And again, palms down, hands roll around. We offer. And then receiving what we need. Some people find it easier to give, some find it easier to receive. There's no judgment. One more time. Right? Sometimes it's really hard to ask for help. And other times we feel so under-resourced, we feel like we have nothing to give. So hands back to the heart. And we'll take the arms and lift them up overhead, taking a big breath in. Exhale and release the arms down. So if you're on the floor, you can bring your hands to the floor. Maybe it could be fingertips wherever you can reach. If you're on a chair, you're just going to let the hands come beside the chair. We're going to keep one hand on the ground or chair. The other arm lifts up. Good. And here you can move the arm away, bend the elbow as you come to the side, just a little bit to the side, and then come back up to the center. And then we'll go to the side again. And back to center. So I notice I'm getting a message every now and again, a couple times in this class on my screen that says the internet is unstable. So I may cut out or freeze. If I disappear altogether, I will be back as long as I can. Good. And then let's try the other side. So lifting up, coming to the side. So you can exhale as you go to the side, inhale as you come to the center. Make sure you're bending the arm so you're not hunching up your shoulder as you go to the side. Great. One more time. Great. We'll come back to the center, bring the hands onto the knees, and inhale, arch, exhale, round. You can stay with that movement, or if you like, you can raise the arms as you inhale and come forward, either coming right over your legs, hands to the floor, to the thighs if you're on a chair, and then back up. And if it's comfortable for you to stay in that forward position, you can go ahead and stay. If your legs have fallen asleep and you're cross-legged, go for it. Just straighten them out. Good. So staying here, a couple more breaths. And then we'll lift all the way up. Good. Exhaling, release the arms down. So we're going to come to stand, and I'm going to shift my computer so that you can see all of me. Otherwise, you're only going to see my legs. So you get yourselves upright. And that should work there. Except for the meditation cushion that I left to trip myself with. Right, so coming to Tadasana. Good, feel your heels sink down and feel a little lift in the chest. And let's step the feet slightly apart and keep the knees soft. And we're gonna roll the shoulders. One shoulder is gonna come forward and roll back, and then the other shoulder. Good, going at your own pace here. Feel free to reverse at any time. Go the other way a few times as well. Right, and let's come back to the center. So you can leave the feet a little apart or bring them in closer, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And again, we'll take the arms to the sides and spread the fingers wide. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, cross one arm over the other. Bring the hands to the opposite shoulders. Let your arms relax down. And just feel that hug. It may be a while since you've hugged someone for real, or maybe you've only got, a very limited number of people around you. I just feel that hug, that sense of I'm safe, I'm protected, I'm loved. If you want a little more stretch for your shoulders here, you can separate, take the hands off the shoulders and start to bring the backs of the hands towards each other. So we're moving towards the eagle arms. And if it's available to you, this bottom hand will come in closer to your face and maybe tuck in underneath the base of your thumb of the other hand. That may or may not be available to you. So either way, it doesn't matter. Wherever you are is fine. And then you can do a little movement. So it could be circles or a little lifting and lowering of the arms. Right, and let's bring the hands back to the shoulders. Again, let the shoulders and elbows rest down and take a look at which arm is on top. And then we'll release the arms. We'll bring the hands behind the back. You can bring your hands together. We're going to let the arms just relax down. Find a little lift in the chest, but don't squeeze your shoulders and stick your chest out. So it's really just bringing the hands back to create a little bit more openness across the collarbones and chest. Okay, nice breath here. Exhale, feel your heels sink down again. We'll take the arms to the sides. Again, spread the fingers wide, take a breath in, and as you exhale, take the arms across in the other way, so the opposite arm is on top now. And again, shoulders and elbows relax down. And you can stay here, or you can come towards the eagle arms or into the eagle arms if that is available to you. I know it's a very challenging position, so please don't strain your shoulders. And then we can do some circles or a little up and down movement. Just getting into that space between the shoulder blades. Right, and then let's release. Oh, actually, we did hug the shoulders one more time, so bring the hands back to the shoulders. Good, nice big breath. Exhale completely. And then release the arms, bring them behind your back. And again, interlace your fingers. If that's not possible, if that feels uncomfortable for your shoulders, you can just think about the arms reaching back a little. So from this position. And then we're going to release the hands and turn the palms forward, so externally rotate. We'll lift the arms up with a breath in. And then exhale, bring the arms back down and turn the palms back. So open as you lift. So a little external rotation, and then we'll internally rotate. The palms turn back, thumbs in. So open and lift. We're going to add a forward bend this time. So bend your knees, turn the palms back, bring the hands to the lower back as you come forward. Palms face up. Coming upright, inhale, lift the arms. externally rotating the shoulders, and then as you come down, you start to internally rotate, come forward, hands to the back. Again. Great, let's lower the arms to the sides and stay upright this time. And we're going to come into that forward bend and stay for a few breaths. It's going to give you a couple of options. So one is the option that we just did. So you'll have the hands on the lower back, knees bent, you'll come forward. If that's not comfortable, hands to, or elbows to the knees if you need support. And for those of you who are feeling like you want a little bit more for your shoulders, you can bring the hands back to that interlaced position and come forward. So whichever version you like, if you come forward with the hands interlaced, you can then also think about maybe raising the arms up. If you're raising the arms up, let the shoulders be relaxed, coming down toward the ears. You can also just let the hands rest on your low back there and let the shoulders relax toward your ears. And the other alternative, of course, is to support yourself, hands on your knees. So whatever works best for you. And we're going to come back up with a breath in, reaching the arms up overhead. And then exhaling to bring the arms down to your sides. Excellent. So we'll come now into warrior. So a nice short stance in warrior. So one foot forward, the other foot, it doesn't matter which side. So the other foot is behind with the foot turned a little out to the side. Now, we're going to add a forward bend in warrior, so if you want to have a chair in front of you, or if you want to have blocks on the ground, or you can just bring your hands to your leg or to the floor, wherever you can reach. So bend the front knee. We're going to palm up, inhale, and lift the arms overhead. Good. Exhale. Take the arms down and back, turn the palms toward each other behind you, interlace your fingers, lift the chest as you reach back with the arms. Good, take a breath here. With your next inhale, release, lift the arms overhead. Good. Exhale, bring your hands to your front knee or to the chair or to the blocks or ground, so wherever works for you. And we'll stay here for a couple of breaths. You can let the head release, and do try to let the head go. So often we're trying to look forward when we're in a forward bend, and that can potentially strain the neck. When you're ready, come all the way up, taking a breath in, reaching the arms overhead, and then exhale, release the arms down. And let's switch sides. So we'll call this more like a baby warrior. So a short stance, tiny bend in the front knee, just so the knee and the ankle line up, more or less. Could be straighter. You don't want to be more bent. You don't want your knee going past your ankle here. So we'll inhale, palms up, lifting the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the arms down. You can interlace the fingers, inhale, and find a little lift in the chest, shoulders back. Relax shoulders, take a breath here. The next inhale, lift the arms up. Good, and then exhale, come forward again, any amount. So it could be hands to your knee or your shin. You just want to make sure you're not hyperextending your knee or pushing it straight. You could reach for the ground, blocks, or chair, whatever you've got available, and take a few breaths here. Again, let the head release. Notice if your tendency is to crank the neck up, and try to keep it soft. And let's come all the way up, breathing in, reaching the arms overhead, and then exhale, arms to your sides. Right, and then stepping your feet together, you can take them apart side to side a little bit again, and bring your hands onto your hips, soft knees, and a few circles with your hips. I know most of you are anticipating the cracking of my hips, and it is happening over here. It's probably not getting picked up by the microphone. Maybe your hips are making some sounds as well where you are. Great, so you can go both directions. Great, and then come back to the center. So we're going to do one more main standing pose, and then we'll get down on the floor. So in this one, you want the feet wide, and it could be shoulder distance. Mine are a little wider than my shoulders. It could even be a little wider. So you may want to turn sideways on your mat so you've got enough space. The wider your legs are apart, the more effort the pose becomes. So whatever works for you. We're going to turn one foot all the way out to the side so it's pointing away from you. Bend that knee so that the knee and ankle more or less line up, front to back and side to side. The other foot, whatever angle feels comfortable for you. So it could be straight up, it could be slightly tilted in or slightly out. And then from here, arms to the sides. Reach out with your arms. This is Warrior Two pose. You can turn to look over the hand that corresponds to your bent knee, whichever side that is. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to bring that hand down onto the knee, or you could bring your forearm down onto your thigh, the other arm reaching straight up. And imagine you're trying to reach something just out of range, so just above your hand. Good. And then we're going to take that upper arm and bring it down by the hip. You can turn your shoulders towards the ground, sweeping the hand over the ground. Doesn't have to come to the ground, coming up overhead. You can bend the elbow if you like as it comes overhead, and then down and around. So if your shoulders feel restricted, bending the elbow is helpful. Otherwise, you can make that circle full with a straight arm. Right, next time you're bringing the arm up overhead, let it lift you up with that momentum, coming back to Warrior Two. Right, and we'll straighten the leg and turn the feet parallel. Let the arms come down and step your feet together for a moment and give a little shake out, just releasing any tension that you may have inadvertently brought in with that pose. And we'll take the feet wide again and do the other side. So again, whatever width is comfortable for you, you can turn the foot all the way out to the side. The other foot can again be on whatever angle is comfortable. Often the instruction is slightly turned in, but I know for some people straight or even turned out is fine, is comfortable. So we're going to bend the knee so the knee lines up over the ankle. And if you look down, you want to see that your knee cap is in line with your toes, so they're pointing the same direction. And then arms to the sides. Stretch out with your arms and turn your head to look over the hand that corresponds to your front or to your bent knee. Good, and then we're going to bring that hand down to the knee, or it could be the forearm. And again, reach up with the other hand as if you're reaching for something just beyond your grasp. And then we'll circle so that arm comes down. You can turn your shoulders toward the ground, coming up. Again, bending your elbow as it comes overhead if your shoulder feels at all challenged here, or a straight arm if that feels good for you. All right, one more circle. And then next time we're coming up overhead, we're going to let the momentum of that lift all the way up to Warrior Two. Good, you'll bend or unbend the front knee and turn your feet parallel, arms down to your sides. And hi, I'm not a scratching post. And bring your feet together and give everything a little shake out. And a lot of people said they enjoyed the pets last week, and the dog is locked away again. She's been in and out today, so she's happy. And the cat has decided that he wants to come and do yoga too, and he's a great yogi. So, all right, we're going to do a counter pose. So forward bend to just bring the spine back to equilibrium. So you can take a breath in and reach up. Good, and then exhale. Come forward, bring the hands down, either to the legs or to the ground, and then inhale and lift back up again. Exhale, come forward. Good. And do a few more in your own time, maybe 2 more. This time when you come forward, if you like, you can stay for a few breaths. Again, it could be hands or elbows on the thighs. You could cross your arms and dangle or bring the arms down toward the ground. Whatever feels good for you. Do keep a little bend in your knees. That allows the back to be a little more released.
Klein, I think your sound is off.
I also don't have video.
Oh, I got sound now and video. Oh. No sound again. No sound. There's no sound. I don't know if anybody else is getting any, but I'm not. Plus it says mute on the screen.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
noticing that, because I have no idea how that happened, how it became muted, except for I think I might have gotten kicked out and come back in. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I didn't even know you were here, Bonnie. You were on my other screen. So thank
I
you.
was here and not here, and now I'm here.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. And anyone else, please do the same thing if you can't hear me, because somehow my microphone got muted. And Bonnie, thank you so much for saying so. So bring your knees to your chest. We need to do a counter pose after that twist. So knees to chest, one hand on each knee. And I hope you were hearing me through the twist. Maybe not. Anyway, one hand on each knee, and you can move the knees forward and back as we do. Right? So away from you as you breathe in, towards you as you breathe out. All right. And then you can bring your feet to the floor. And I think we'll move into Shavasana now. It's we're not going to have the full hour and 15 minutes of this class. I don't think. It seems like an hour online is seems to be kind of a good amount of time for people. So and I'm pushing it with the internet here. So we're going to move into Shavasana, and you can get yourselves comfortable. See, my cat has made himself comfortable and is doing a little grooming here beside me. So take your time, get a blanket if you need it. Support yourself with, whatever you've got if you need it. Right, and then again, let yourself come to settle. Come back to your breath. And now with a little bit more focus on the exhalation. So start to feel yourself dropping down with the exhalation. And starting to let go of the effort of the practice. And again, checking in, noticing, feeling the weight of your body on the ground, where your body makes contact with the earth. Softening and relaxing into that contact. And let the weight of your head sink into the mat or the ground or pillow or blanket. And feel as you let the head sink down that the muscles of your face can soften a little bit. Relax the jaw. Relax all around the mouth, around the eyes, between your eyebrows and across your forehead. And let the head be heavy. As you allow the weight of your head to be supported by the ground, see if you can find a little more ease in your neck. Feel the shoulders release, letting the weight of the world fall off your shoulders for now. Let your arms be heavy and the hands soft and relaxed. Exhale and feel the rib cage become even heavier. The belly and the lower back softening. Exhale and feel the pelvis drop into the earth a little more deeply. Relax the muscles of your lower abdomen, your buttocks, and all around the hips. Exhale, feel your thighs let go. Are you holding tension in your thighs? Could you soften them a little bit? Feel your knees maybe let go a little more. Calves, shins, ankles, and feet letting go. And as you exhale, maybe even feel the whole body relax just a tiny bit more. And maybe finding is that littlest bit of relaxation with each exhalation. Could you drop down and let go a little more? And if when you relax, the mind gets busy or the emotions come to life, try to welcome whatever is there without judgment. There's nothing wrong with a busy mind. It's the state of our minds most of the time. So you might even step back and just watch that mind go. So we can have a busy mind without getting involved. We just watch the thoughts as though it's a TV playing in the background or a radio. As we focus maybe on the breath or the feeling of the body on the ground. I'd like to share with you a small part of a much longer chant. The chant talks about being connected to our hearts. When we're connected to our own selves, when we feel alive within ourselves and we're aware of our own emotions, thoughts, feelings, we become much more connected to others. When we pretend that we're perfect all of the time, it puts distance between us and others. Being real helps us to feel more connected. And we are all connected through spirit, through our hearts, through our telephones, internet, through our thoughts and prayers. And this chant reminds us of that connection. Om Hridayam Mai Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani Hridayam Mai Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani Hridayam Mai Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani. Om. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana and rest a little bit longer, feel absolutely free. You can just ignore me. And if you're ready to come back into the world and bring in a little movement, you can start to deepen your breath a little bit. Become aware of your surroundings, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe move your ankles and wrists a little. And take your time to gradually stretch and move whatever way would feel good to you. And then gradually you can roll onto one side and pause there for a moment. And take your time to come back to a seated posture as you're ready, if you like. I mean, you can certainly stay lying down. There's no other class coming in. So you're welcome to extend your Shavasana. Or if you're ready to come back, you can join me seated and bring your palms together. And know that during this difficult time, whatever emotions arise, please be kind to yourself. Welcome whatever comes up without judgment as much as you can. And if you find yourself judging yourself, try to let go of that judgment. And know that you're not alone. We're in this together. And reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, reach out to one another, make sure everyone's doing okay. And also take care of yourself. Namaste. So I hope that was helpful and not too many technical glitches along the way. I'm not sure if Bonnie is still here. Yes, she is. So thanks again, Bonnie, for being the spokesperson for the group and letting me know that I was muted for some strange reason. And I hope hope you enjoyed it. Have a great night, and I will be posting the classes to YouTube overnight when the internet is a little bit more available, and I'll be sending out the emails with the links tomorrow with the recorded classes. And then Wednesday night, if you'd like to join me, 6:30 for the guided meditation. And hope to see you then, or next week, or sometime soon. I wish I could hug you, but I can't. So have a great night. Namaste.